I said, okay, well, given that's not going to happen, how does the process work? And again, what limits people sometimes is, oh, my landlord's going to get mad at me, or the city or authorities are going to get mad at me, or one thing or another. And of course, if you can go down to the city and get a banner permit and get a permit to have it up for a month or 2 months, go do it legally. My favorite story, on one of many, I guess, but on entrepreneurship, is we were doing exactly this. The school that was actually where my headquarters office was, we put it up, and I wasn't there, and the city officials came in and told my branch manager that the balloon was illegal and the balloon had to come down, and one thing or another. And so I get a call, in the car of, oh my goodness, this is illegal. And I went and unplugged the thing. I said, well, go plug it back in, shut the fuck up. Don't be an idiot. Give me the business card when I get there. I'll deal with it. Right. And so I called the guy with the city when I got back, and I said, so and so, who's the branch manager here, talk to you. Is there a problem with the balloon? He goes, oh yeah, you're not supposed to have that. I said, well, what permits do we need to file? Or, yeah, usually the company takes care of that, but what permit do we need? Well, no, in this city it's illegal. You just can't do it. Okay. You need to take it down immediately. I said, okay, well, given that's not going to happen, how does the process work? And, they're not used to being talked to like that. And I was being very nice. He was laughing, but he said, well, what do you mean? I said, well, what's next? Right. So if I just say it's not coming down, what do you do? He goes, oh, we'd come back and give you a formal warning. Okay. And then what happens? Well, if you don't take it down within, I forget what the time period was, we come and give you a summons. Okay. What's the summons for? It's for a court appearance. Okay. Well, how long does it take between the summons and the court appearance? And so it's going to be 48 hours to give me a warning. Then it's going to be a week to give me a summons, and then it's going to be 4 weeks for a court appearance. And I said, well, so if we go to the court appearance, what's going to happen? And he says, well, the judge is going to tell you you have to take it down. I say, and if I don't take it down at that point, they'll probably fine you like $500 a day or something like that. Okay, yeah, no problem. Come bring me the warning. And he said, well, what? I said, well, I only rented it for 6 weeks. It's been up there for 3 weeks. So by the time, it'll be down long before I get to court date. And he said, well, okay, so it'll be down in 3 weeks. Yeah, okay, no problem. And that was the end of it, right?